Hey, how you doing again? It's John Brown coming to talk about Deadpool Part 2. And in recent events, a lot has happened recently. Went on Mr. Leftfield's page the other day and asked a few questions, posted a couple videos, and it went down faster than a $2 hooker. Why me? I'm not a threat, I'm just a lunatic. And that's what he called me. Coming back, there was a guy, an artist on there named Jacob Bear, and this is a response to Jacob Bear's question. Jacob Bear asks, why would Marvel need you when they have an army of artists? Your story's kind of flawed. And the answer to that is when, back in the mall when I was talking to my buddy Carl, he told me that when you work for Marvel, you sign a paper that says you're bonded. Now, I didn't know what bonded meant. Bonded means that when you sign on with them, you basically belong to them. So you come up with a great story, a great character, and everything else, and the next thing you know, you sketch it up on your couch Saturday night at 10 o'clock, and you bring it in Monday morning to your boss and say, look, here's my idea, and the guy says, hey, good job. Period. You work for us. That's what you're supposed to do. So you don't get any of that. You don't get any of that credit. Now, in the last 25 years, okay, who do they have aside from Deadpool that's really mainstream? And when I look around, I see Spider-Man, who's from Stan Lee's era, Hulk, Captain America. I mean, what new stuff have you brought to the table? And that's kind of my point here. Now, did I belong to that company? No. I asked Carl, I said, hey man, I got a couple ideas for a good book and a new story. And, you know, what should I do? And I didn't work for them at the time. And I never worked for them. But the point was, I had to write a letter to the editor. And I didn't know who the editor was at the time. And it was October of '86. I sent a letter out and I said, hey, basically, I'll send you an idea, and you guys can print my characters, plural. Print my characters, and in the event they ever do well, okay, if they ever do cartoons, video games, or movies, you guys cut me in for a piece, and that'll be my fee. And, you know, Thanksgiving came and went. December rolls around, I don't hear nothing, but December 18th was the day. And I got a letter that came from Steve Ditko. And the letter basically said, you know, you got a lot of moxie, kid. And sure, we'll look over what you send us. And please do not send us any uncopyrighted material, which I didn't. So I was inspired. And the day after Christmas, I started to work on what would be an X-Force book. Now, have I read any of the X-Forces? The answer to that question is no. When I created all that stuff, Deadpool, Domino, and a character I called Black Flash, okay? And Black Flash really didn't need a name because it needed to go through the editor to you know, he was a black guy and his name was Black Flash, and you had to be racially sensitive back then, which, you know, I thought it was cool to put an Afro-American character in with the Force. Going back to that, you know, I put all this together and I wrote a story up with plot lines and how they interwove in with other people like the X-Men and X-Factor at the time, and it was a really cool idea. And it was all done by a 15-year-old kid. Now, I waited. It took me 10 days after I finished. It was probably January 15th or 17th that I sent that stuff back out. And it's always the middle of the month for some reason. I don't know why. But I believe it was around the 15th. It took 10 days. So then what I did was I went down and I said to my mom, I said, look, it costs $4.80 to send this stuff. I said, I wrote another letter. I put it in with the package, and I put another $5 in there. And I said, look, if you guys don't like the material that I sent, please take the $5 and mail it back to me. Okay? And if you decide to keep my characters and use them, use the $5 to buy a couple of the guys in the office a coffee in the morning from me, because that was the way I worked. And I was only 15 at the time. Coming back to that, you know, I got a letter March 17th. It was always 2 months, you know. And basically it said, we really liked what you have. We like everything that you sent us. Please send us more, but please don't send any more uncopyrighted material. That letter I have. And I was kind of turned off by it that I sent you copyrighted stuff, but yet you say it's not copyrighted. That was my first clue right there that you guys weren't playing with a straight deck. And I didn't send you any more stuff after that. I said, you know what? Whatever, dude. But, as it turns out, I stopped collecting comic books a little while after that. I wasn't chasing issues of X-Men anymore. I was chasing girls. Now, when you're growing up, you kind of get away from that. And eventually I got a job, and I didn't know what was going on anymore. I didn't hear nothing. No mail ever came to my house. And then, you know, my daughter says to me, oh, you know, there's Deadpool. I says, you know, your dad created that character. And, oh, yeah, he's in the comics. I said, oh, good. I said, if he ever does a movie, then Dad's got a payday. I see on Yahoo that there's a Deadpool movie coming out, but yet, as the creator, it doesn't have my name in there at all. It has Mr. Leftfield, and I'm going to call him Fabulous Nice Cheese. Mr. Fabulous Nice Cheese's name is in there. Now, for you two guys to come up with all that stuff's kind of shameful, because it was one 15-year-old kid that did that. It wasn't the two of you. It wasn't. I could tell you the whole story about that character. There's a few things I didn't send to you guys. I didn't send you his backstory. Didn't send you that. And I definitely didn't tell you why his costume was red and black. There's a lot of things to that character that you guys do not know. And it's a shame. There's a reason why that suit is red and black. And a friend of mine in Hollywood has that information. My daughter has that information. My lawyer has that information. You know, it's kind of hysterical that, you know, your page goes down and I ask you a question, why is the costume red and black, and put a couple videos, and you want to know who I am and who I talk to. And, you know, you ain't got nothing to hide. Well, your dirty little secret's out, my friend. You know, I think it's kind of funny that you don't want to give me my credit where my credit's due. My letter to Marvel was very simple. I didn't want any money from Marvel. I sent them a letter saying I wanted my due credit from my creative process. And I didn't even get that. I got a very cold and impersonal letter back from their head of legal, or whatever he is, that, you know, basically like I'm a joke. Well, I'm not a joke. Okay? I may see one of you guys at a Comic-Con coming up very soon. So, be on the lookout for me. And I will want to talk to you. Going forward with this, I'm going to tell my truth in these videos. I'm going to tell the truth. And you guys may not like it. He telling the truth. I don't care what you don't care about. I'm going to tell the truth. Let me tell you something about this. The truth is what it is. Okay? I'm not lying about this. I'm not coming out telling you I created Mickey. I'm not coming out here saying I created Smurfs or My Little Pony or any of that stuff. I'm telling you what I created. And, you know, I found out by looking online that Mr. Ditko left that company in '87. So I don't even know if that second letter was even him. You know, it's hard to say. Why am I coming out about it now? Like I said, I found out that there was a movie being made, and you know, here we are. What, I'm going to stand here with my hand out? Nah. It's time to let people know. And with that, I'm going to conclude this part 2. And if you guys have any questions about that character, please ask me. I have nothing to hide from you people. I'm very well open. If you send me a message on Facebook or Twitter here, I am more than welcome to answer a question of what was going on in my mind at the time, and where different things came from. I have no problem talking to you guys about that. And Mr. Jacob Bear, I've seen your artwork too, and it's good stuff, dude. Keep up the good work. And I don't want you to hate me because I said things about your buddy. It's not personal to that extent. I just want my due credit where my credit's due. And with that, I'm going to close out this video and thank you, and you guys have a very nice day today.